Hey guys, and welcome to the final episode of my #1 Sentai Gozyuger episode commentary and reviews. This time, it's number 49. Final episode. We are #1 Sentai Gozyuger. And remember, if you do enjoy what you see, please remember to like and subscribe. It just means a lot on a small channel like this. And it'll make the cat happy. And, maybe even leave a comment down below. But hey, let's get into the episode. The episode opens with Taiga Sword asking for Herero's wish, but Fire Candle arrives saying they need to settle things first, before throwing a glove at Herero, who gets to his feet accepting the challenge. He transforms, and Fire Candle powers up as they begin to fight, with Fire Candle saying that fighting Herero is when he feels the best, as they both land a solid hit, forcing each other to power down. As Fire Candle confesses he thought he was fighting for his people, but he's realised all he wants to do is fight. All out with Herero forever. As he rushes in and the two trade punches until Herero is knocked down, dropping the Gozyuger rings. Stopped from getting them by Fire Candle, he's told to forget everything but the fight, and as Candle goes to smash them, he's stopped by Kuon, who arrives and changes to human form to save his brother. As Taiga Jun and Goodburn arrive, and Taiga Jun becomes a gauntlet, enabling Kuon to become Garyudo once again, and fighting Fire Candle, he asks Herero what his wish is. And as Herero picks up the dropped rings, he says how much he misses each of the others, calling them his friends, and finally makes his wish. To redo the whole ring war. And, absorbing all of the rings, Taiga Sword grants the wish, and, appearing from an explosion, we get the announcer appear, calling out, as with another explosion, Rikuo, Ryuji, and Kinjiro appear. As Samino also appears, before Kuon changes back to his Decalibur form, and Herero calls Fire Candle for a fight, as he summons an army. Samino transforms and takes on some grunts, before calling to the others who engage and stand helmetless, as Goju Unicorn joins them, and we get the announcer and cheerleaders one final time, with each Gozyuger getting a turn helmetless, before the obligatory explosion, and Herero calls Fire Candle their prey, before the fight begins. But it's interrupted by a laugh, as over the cliff edge 5 Universe Warriors appear, pledging their support to the Rangers as they transform to Go Ranger, Gal Ranger, Don Momotaro, Die Ranger, and Car Ranger, taking their fight to the grunts using their special abilities from origami animals to a whip. Goodburn gets charged by some grunts, but he's defended by Bouquet and Shining Knife and Sweet Cake before Goodburn charges in himself. As the Gozyugers team up to take on Fire Candle, he tells Herero he is an animal that only feels alive when fighting, which Herero agrees with, saying it's why he wants to fight everyone with a ring, and then go for a hamburger with them afterwards, before adding he has a job interview tomorrow and back rent to pay, so he's too busy to fight Fire Candle forever. As the Rangers charge in with their weapons before combining their special attacks into one burst, but it's matched by Fire Candle, until God Goju Polar appears, adding his finished knuckle to the mix, and with a final push, the team defeats Fire Candle, who says at the end they finally became a real team, as he asked to be finished off. But Herero says his life includes Fire Candle, powering down and offering his hands, calling him his #1 brawling buddy. As Fire Candle collapses, Kamade walks up as everyone suddenly realises he's there, and he explains that he died a human, but he came back as a god, before asking Herero if he's redoing the ring war, and Herero says it'll be him fighting everyone in a round robin. Back in No.1 world, Fire Candle sits alone, as Kuon appears before being joined by the others, as Queen Taiga Jun tells him she wants all of them by her side, to work together to find a way forward, as Bouquet agrees to help, and joined by Kuon and Knife and Cake, as Fire Candle says he chose a different path to them, But Bouquet reminds him he's still their friend, as the castle lights up and fire candles hugged by the Britons. 1 year later, Hiro is at the outdoor area as the dad and son are practicing football when he's joined by Kamade, as Hiro reveals he's won the ring war again. Kamade updates him on the team, saying as a god he's done them a few favours, from Otto waking up and her and Samino travelling and making up for lost time, Rei recovering from his disease and being able to support Rikuo, Kinjiro getting to stay young and party, and Ryuji turning the Taiga Cafe into a franchise. As Kamade asks him if this is a world worth living in, we don't hear Hiro's answer, before we see him entering the cafe to be greeted by the others, before Kamade enters with a plate piled high with jumbo franks. This is Hiro's wish, as the landlady asks what about all the rent he owes, before the group starts a friendly argument about the sausages, before we flash back to Hiro's answer that this world isn't bad at all, as in the cafe they declare a #1 battle to prepare the sausages, as the episode ends. Okay, so that's it. This is how Sentai ends. Not with a bang, but with a bit of a whimper, to be honest. Yeah, that was it, and I'm sort of left with a few conflicting feelings, really. I mean, on the whole, I enjoyed it, but obviously there were issues, there were problems behind the scenes, which really became apparent a few times. Obviously, when Samino's original actress left, there's a lot of dodgy edits, and unfortunately some of that's come in with this episode. And I've got in my notes that Samino really got the short end of the stick in editing again, thanks to the whole thing with her, noticeably missing in certain shots where it really does feel like she's missing. Like the end bit as well, where it's like, oh yeah, we'll just take a picture, we'll let Samino know that he's, because she's off travelling with her. So it felt quite, yeah, it didn't feel right. And obviously her helmeted inclusion in the final lineup when everyone else was helmetless, it felt so wrong. And, you know, I don't know why. Surely they had more than enough time to reshoot that one bit. I mean, she did at least have her own scene with her sister, which was nice. But, I mean, the whole transformation sequence looks like it was originally filmed with probably the original actress. But then, obviously, because of everything that happens, because everything that happens, obviously they had to crop her out. And it really feels like that. Because, you know, people are sort of out of frame. And you think, it's the final one, you want everyone visible, which you just don't get. And then, when they're all welcoming Kamade back as God, the scene where Kinjiro is saying, oh, this is how a god reacts. You've got Samino stood there with her arms crossed, you know, ring showing and all the rest of it. But she looks a different quality to... The cat's destroying everything. She looks a different quality to Kinjiro. She's slightly out of focus. She looks like he's 4K and she's 1080p or something. Like, his hair's like, you can see every strand. Her hair is just like someone's drawn it in because it didn't come through the green screen properly. And she's got an outline all around her. Now, I mean, I noticed this because like a lot of my early videos, I use green screen. And you do get that quite easily if you don't set it up right, which took me quite a while to learn. So, I mean, I sympathise. It's not the easiest thing. But, you know, they could have done so much better. Can you tell this cat likes me? one of the most common complaints I've heard about this series on the whole is that a lot of the universe warriors were off-screened. You know, they were beaten off-screen. We never get to see them. And so Haruo's wish is to basically do that with absolutely everything. He's like, he wants to redo, he wants a do-over on the entire war, but basically it ends up being, everyone's got, oh, my favourite character was done off screen. Oh, I didn't get to see Gokaiger. I didn't get to see Goenju or whatever. And so what happens to Haruo's wish? I wish I could do it all over again and just annoy everyone because everyone's going to be off screened. Because it cuts to a year later, he's like, yeah, I got all the rings here. Give me another wish. This time, I want a plate of sausage. A plate. That's his wish. He wants a plate of jumbo frankfurters on sticks. Which is a nice callback to the first episode. And if you watch, like, the boy and his dads that are playing football, the mum comes over with some of those sausages. So it's all a nice callback to the first episode. And that boy and his dad are obviously there on episode 17 or 19 or something when Kamade was first introduced. Oh, pussycat, pussycats. Are you a parrot? Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit, I don't know, but yeah, apparently he's strong enough that he beats absolutely everyone. But we don't get to see it. And of course, it's like I said last time, he basically wished everyone back. I didn't wish for the Ring War to be redone, but I was right that he basically wished everyone back. Although, Kamade doesn't come up, probably because he wished for the Ring War to be redone. Kamade technically wasn't part of the Ring War. He added himself in when he broke out of his statue, which explains why he didn't come back with the others. It doesn't quite explain why he came back as a full-on god, because he said he died as a human, but I thought he died as a god, but he also had grey hair, and now he doesn't have grey hair. So, it's kind of a bit, really? This cat is just nuts. And also, Kaiser Fire Candle seems to be very uneven in his power. So, last episode, he fights Herrero, and, they seem to be evenly matched, where he's then able to beat Herrero once Herrero's, soul is crushed, because the others have all been endgamed by Rex. And then he's able to beat Herrero. But then, at the start of this episode, when he fights Herrero, they're evenly matched to the point where they're both able to force each other to power down. And then, he's so powerful that he's able to fight all 5 Gozyugers, and with them all using their special attacks, hold them off until God Goju Polar does finish Knuckle, and they all put a bit extra power into it, and then he's beaten. And even then he's not destroyed, he's just beaten and accepts his loss. Although, it's nice he gets that little bit of redemption. Queen Taiga June and the others come back and they're like, yeah, we're going to work together now, and all the rest of it. So he kind of gets his redemption that I said I wanted. He wasn't, killed off at the end. What are you doing? What are you doing sniffing my mouth, pussycat? Is it because I had bacon earlier? I got bacon breath. But yeah, so it's nice to see him get his bit of closure at the end. Yeah, the whole, I think I wish they'd reshot those final scenes with the replacement actress, because it just feels so wrong, her not being in those key moments, like the group shot of them without helmets and then her just walking in with her helmet on. It just felt so wrong, and I feel so bad for both actresses involved. Obviously, the first one for like everything that happens, and then the new one for having to take over for the last 10 or so episodes. But, you know, still not being able to do all these shots and being put in such a jarring way, which I just feel so sorry for her. And yeah, it does kind of bring it down a little bit. But I mean, on the whole, I've enjoyed the series. Please don't chew on my finger. I've enjoyed the series, and I think the cat has enjoyed me covering it more and more, to the point where now she's trying to be a parrot. But yeah, it's been a good show on the whole. I am sorry that this is the end of Sensei for now. And don't fret, because I will have a separate video coming out in a few days just to say what's going to be happening with the channel. Preferably without the cat on. What are you doing? She's trying to eat my arm now. What are you doing? Yeah, I will try and get a copy of the movie done. I'm going to see if I can work on that. But I've also got about 5 or 6 episodes ready that I'm going to be putting up over the next 5 or 6 weeks. That I want you guys to let me know which season. I'm going to put them in the 50th anniversary playlist. And basically, I want you guys to let me know which one should I carry on with. Because obviously there's no new Sentai. And I don't want to go back to just 1 episode a week. So, you know, let me know which the series that I picked at my 50th anniversary that you guys want me to carry on with. And, you know, if I don't get that big a response, then I'll probably just go for somewhere along, I don't know, Zenkaija, Kiramager sort of area, and cover like the next few seasons over the next few years. So, you know, while I've got the older stuff going, so obviously I'm doing Die Ranger, Kaka Ranger will be next, then O Ranger, Car Ranger, and working my way through that lot. You know, I may just start from Kiramager and work my way through the latest few seasons, because let's be honest, Kiramager, Zenkaija, Don Brothers, King Oja, Boom Boomja, just an absolutely brilliant 4 or 5 years worth of content. I absolutely loved all those shows. And I mean, it was King Oja that I got my first Sentai mech while the show was airing. So, you know, let me know what you guys want me to do next. Obviously, I've got plenty of toy reviews to do when I actually get round to it. Obviously, I've got Tour the Shuttle Zord now. Well, Daimujin or Tour the Shuttle Zord. I've just had Ryu Soldier turn up. I've got Kyo Ranger, QNO in the post. I'm also going to be getting some more Henshin devices, so I'm probably going to start doing reviews on them. But as I said, as for another video, me to say what's coming up on the channel. Hopefully next week will be the movie, if I get time to edit it. If this one will give me some peace and quiet. And it's like I've got an audience. I just need more... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Stop. Yeah. This cat wants some attention. More than I'm giving her at the moment. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.